What's up, guys? Welcome to week 32 of Books Being Sick. I am Nick. Thanks for being here as per whatever. And I've got some stuff to talk to you about today. I've got lots of book stuff. I've got two recent reads, and one that I'm halfway through. Really excited to talk to you about those. I got some mail. I got some book pickups. I got just an array of things to talk to you about for week 32. I think I said, it's actually been a really good week of reading for me. I had very low expectations for this month because it is a really busy month for me as a wedding photographer. There's a lot of weddings. People like to get married in August. I'm not, I don't know. It seems like a hot month to me to get married, but I appreciate that people do it. It's good for me, and I love shooting weddings, so I'm having a good time with it. But it is a very busy month. It's generally the busiest month of my year. However, I think maybe in it being such a busy month, it's keeping me kind of organized and kind of on track, and so I've actually been able to get quite a bit of reading done this week, which has been really nice. Few quick things. Life updates for me this week. I've been going to a lot of skate parks, been doing a lot of sitting here and editing photos of people just making out with each other. That's my job. And it's been a good week. I wanted to actually note, I know this is probably a very niche thing that a very few of you watching are going to care about, but I know I have a few modern baseball fans that watch my channel. If you are a modern baseball fan, as I am, I just wanted to let you know, because I only just found this out today, they have a 10th anniversary edition of You're Gonna Miss It All. They're one of their probably most iconic albums, and it's available for pre-order. I've through their record label. It's like Runaway Records or something like that. If you just Google Modern Baseball 10th Anniversary, you'll find it, just in case you're interested in getting that vinyl pre-order. I know I am. It's money, but it's one of my favorite albums, one of my favorite bands, so was pretty excited about that. Any new modern baseball news, I feel like, is just an exciting thing, so hope you hope that helps you. I also just wanted to I shot a wedding yesterday. And whenever I'm shooting a wedding, my wife obviously has the kids, and she tries to think up activities and stuff like that. And so they did like a tie-dye day yesterday. They tie-dyed a bunch of shirts, and she ended up tie-dyeing one of the Steinbeck sweaters. And I just wanted to show that off because I think that looks so cool. I'm such a fan. I might have to do a tie-dye run. Like, look at how I love that so much. So sick. So, neither here nor there, but I just wanted to show that off. Speaking of merch, actually, I did just want to say a big thank you to everybody who ordered one of the black Spinebreakers or Books Are Sick shirts. They have been ordered, obviously, so just waiting on those to come in. I know the printing place is kind of busy right now, but as soon as I have those in, those will be shipping out. I think what I was thinking is for the future, I kind of want to do like an in-stock update. This is my plan. I've been doing pre-orders up until... I've only done pre-orders for shirts, and it has been really great. But it can, the only thing I'm finding with it is it can get kind of confusing from a bookkeeping point of view, or just like a keeping up with point of view, because, people order the shirts, and then a few weeks later I get them, and then a few weeks later they get them. And it's like, there's a lot of time in between. And so it's sometimes, I've sent out almost like 2,000 packages, which is insane. So obviously in sending out 2,000 packages, there's going to be a handful that go missing in transit or get stolen off of porches. And that's always a bummer. And it's surprisingly like a lot to keep up with. And it's turning into one of those things where like 99% of people are so sweet and so nice, but then there's like the odd mean person that makes me sad. So I'm trying to just figure out how to maybe try and avoid this going forward. So I think what I want to do is an in-stock update, and what I'm going to do is just order a whole bunch of stuff, which is going to suck to begin with, but then it'll just be in stock, so when you order it, I can send it out right away, and I feel like that would be nice. So I think that's what I'm going to do going forward. I'm just thinking out loud right now. I've been having such a busy weekend. I literally just sat down and was like, press buttons and then let's go. So I'm not super organized for this one, but I feel like an in-stock update could be sick. Believe it or not, I've only had one coffee today. Okay, so let's get into some books here. I have all of these. all of these to talk about here. Obviously, won't be spending a ton of time on a lot of these, but let's jump into it. So the first book that I finished this month, I had The Grapes of Wrath kind of carry over into my month of August, but was able to get through Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is the book that my wife Lindsay gave to me when we were doing our book swap. I gave her Misery. Just waiting for her to finish Misery. And then we're going to jump on here and give our reviews on this. So I don't really want to say too much on it, but I will say that it is one of those, I've kind of said this on my Goodreads review, but once I was able to kind of just accept what this book is, and that it is just supposed to be a fun, quirky, good time, and I kind of just shut off my pretentious brain, I was really able to enjoy it. And one of my biggest complaints going into this book was that it's so long. You know, it's 600 pages. It felt like a very long book, and I wasn't a huge fan of the first chapter going in. The first chapter, I was like, oh my goodness, and so I was kind of like, oh wow, I've got 600 more pages of this. But again, once I kind of just got into the flow of it, I flew through this book. Finished it in about 3 days, I think, and it felt like a really fast, breezy, fun read to me. But I do have a lot of notes, so I will get deeper into them once we do like our official reviews of the books we gave to each other, and then we're gonna do it again, I hope, because you know, I know Lindsay's been enjoying Misery, although she has some notes as well, so I'm excited to hear what those are. I'm trying to think also what the next book I'm gonna give her is. I don't know. I kind of want to maybe try and pick something that I think she'd actually like. Like, I think she might actually really like Beartown, so I might do Beartown. I really love Beartown. Beartown was a big surprise for me. I was like kind of lukewarm on it, and then I started it, heard a bunch of people saying how much they loved it, and I really ended up loving it. So I think she would too. Let's get into another book that I finished here before I get into that top one. Of course, it's the one on the bottom. Bam. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for some time. I love horror. I love classic horror, especially. And so I picked up Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levins. And, you know, this is obviously a very famous movie. Unfortunately, I should have looked it up. I can't remember who directed it. Mia Farrow obviously stars in it. But it is such a fantastic movie that I've seen a whole bunch of times. I watched it a lot growing up for some reason. And I just, I always really liked it. And I've always heard that the book is fantastic. And I can confirm now that the book is very, very, very good. If I said this on my socials or whatever, but if you liked the, do I have my copy? If you liked The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty, and you were maybe like me and you have always loved the movie, didn't even realize it was a book, and then read the book and loved it, you'll have the exact same feelings for this one. It reads just like the movie. The movie is shockingly loyal to the book, like page for page loyal, honestly, I want to say. So it was pretty cool to experience that. For those that don't know, Rosemary's Baby is about this couple that are basically looking for an apartment. They're looking for a new apartment. One comes up in a building that they really admire. There's a lot of architectural appealing things about it, and they end up getting their place there. And then they basically, through kind of like a weird circumstance, very, very off-putting, but they end up getting pregnant together, and it's basically the story of, shocking, right? It's called Rosemary's Baby, but it's basically about how Rosemary got pregnant and what is she pregnant with, and there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot, what exactly happened here? Who are these neighbors? Who are these people? Why is this place, does our friend keep warning us about this place? There's a lot of intrigue in this book. It'll really keep you going. Again, this is an easy breezy read. It's just over 200 pages. If you like classic horror, you'll fly through it. I read this in under 24 hours. It was really, really fantastic. I loved it. I loved it a lot. So shout out to Rosemary's Baby from 50 years ago. Okay, the other book that I am currently reading, I just got to past the halfway part, is James by Percival Everett. Percival Everett. This you've probably seen on the shelves if you've been to a bookstore recently. I'm seeing this book everywhere all of a sudden. It was longlisted for the Booker Prize this year, which is very, very cool. I've never read Percival Everett, and I read what this one was about, and I was immediately intrigued. It's a reimagining of Huckleberry Finn, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, told from Big Jim's perspective, and I thought that was really cool right off the bat. And, I wasn't totally sure what to expect going into this. I was like, this is probably going to be a really, like, really wordy, really like kind of deep sort of thing. And it's not that it's not those things, but I'm surprised at how adventurous and fun. And there are a lot of, I'm only halfway through, but there are a lot of tough moments for sure. But I am kind of surprised at how adventurous and kind of like the dialogue between Huckleberry and Jim is hilarious at times. Really, really funny, and then really, really insightful. And I'm enjoying this book so much. I really am loving it. I can obviously see why it was longlisted. It truly is fantastic. I would highly recommend giving this a go. I'm very, very. It's one of those books where I'm fine. Like, I just started it 2 days ago. I'm halfway through, and anytime I'm like, I might have a free 10 minutes here. I'm dying to pick this up, and I love when books grab you like that, and this one has definitely done that to me. So Percival Everett, loving him as an author so far. I think someone told me that Trees is another fantastic one by him, so I'm gonna have to keep my eyes out for that. Could be mistaken. Sorry, if Trees is by someone else, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it was Percival. So absolutely fantastic. And I think I would also really love to read, I believe I mentioned this last week, but I'd love to read My Friends by Hisham Matar. That's another long-listed Booker Prize book that I'm maybe kind of itching to get to this month. I probably shouldn't do that because I do have other books I need to get to. The next book I will be reading after James is going to be Circe, which is the Sick Book Club book for this month. So I'm going to get that one in because I need to, and I'm excited. I love Madeline Miller's writing. I'm looking forward to that one. I usually read the book club book right off the B, like to start the month, but we always do these online live book club chats about the book at the end of the month, and so I've always ended up reading like 3, 4, 5 books in between the book club books. So I'm saving it until mid-month this month, so that's a little fresher in my brain. But I know a lot of people have already finished it on the book club chats, and it seems like most people have really enjoyed it. So that's exciting. I also wanted to share. Oh my gosh, do I have it here or do I not? Is it here? Forgive me. No. Oh, where did I put it? Shoot. Oh, here it is. I was like, am I actually gonna have to cut? I hate making edits. I found it. Okay. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Donna in the UK. I've shouted her out a couple times here and there, but just again, a shout out because she got 2 copies of the 50th anniversary edition of Carrie and sent me an email asking if I wanted one. And there she be. She sent me one, and if that isn't the most beautiful cover of a book you've ever seen, I don't know what is, because you can see little Carrie in the middle there, and it's a brilliant design. I absolutely love this. Very happy to have that on the shelf. So thank you so much, Donna. I really appreciate you. And also, before I forget, I just wanted to note on emails, if you've been trying to send me an email or have ever sent me an email in the past through my link thing, I don't think that's working. I've gotten a handful of messages from people saying that they've sent me emails and haven't gotten a response, and I can never actually end up finding the email in my email. So I'm just not getting them. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. But if you do need to get a hold of me, probably the best way is just a DM on Instagram. I do check those pretty frequently. So if you're trying to get a hold of me, that's the best place to do that. And also, I just wanted to share with you some pickups. So I'll share with you my book mail here first. I got a package from Kayuli. I sent him a message. By the way, apparently this is something you can do. Kayuli's the best. Kayuli Rare Books on Instagram. He sells rare and interesting books only on Instagram. Check him out. He's great. And I asked him if he could send me a little Steinbeck bundle, because I'm really loving Steinbeck at the moment. And he came through. He sent me this. I think this is a first edition of Tortilla Flat by Steinbeck, and it's got the protective book sleeve cover on there and everything. It's one that I definitely want to get to, so I'm very, very excited for that. He also sent me this I think this is like a second printing of East of Eden by Steinbeck, of course, and it's so like beat up but so cool looking. I'm so excited to have that. Just a really kind of neat looking one on the shelf too. Very excited to read East of Eden. I am going to be trying to get in a few other Steinbeck books before I get to East of Eden, but I'm still very excited for that. And he also sent me this book called The Forgotten Village, which is like a photo book that he has written words to go along with the photos. Can't really say a whole lot on that because I haven't checked it out yet, but very excited to dive into that. And let's get into some book pickups. These are books that I bought. I'm very excited about. Rosemary's Baby was one of them, but I already read it. I have been looking for this one for a half a minute. This is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. All of a sudden, I'm finding this everywhere, and it's this really cool little hardcover. The cover itself is really sick as well. I am just, I'm getting into horror mode. I'm getting into scary mode, and I'm just wanting to read as much of that as possible. So, I Am Legend, it's a classic, written in the early 50s, I want to say, 53. I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm excited to dive into that. Today, I picked up Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I can't really say a whole lot about this. This is written by Marcus Aurelius, and I don't know anything else about it other than I've heard a few people here and there say like it's really cool. It's like kind of just almost like a a look inwards at life, and it's apparently quite interesting for having been written like 2,000 years ago. I might be totally off on that, but excited for that one. Also picked up this book here. This is a what is this, a memoir? This is a memoir that I've wanted to pick up actually for a few months. Every time I see it, I'm like, that seems really cool. It's called Famous Father Girl. And this is written by the daughter of the famous composer Bernstein, who I think that's the movie that just came out with Bradley Cooper, I want to say. He played the conductor. This is like about the actual conductor's daughter's life and what it was like growing up, having a father that famous and being in the composer world, I guess. So I've heard this is really, really fascinating. I'm excited to check that out. I've been really into memoirs lately, so hoping to continue the fun train with that. This one I'll save for last. I got A Year in Province. This is by Peter Mail, and I picked this one up just as a bit of a switch up because a lot of the books I have picked up are either heavy or scary, and this one is just supposed to be like a real good time where you live vicariously through these people who are just decided to live in a remote place and live their dreams, live their life, and just enjoy their life. And it's, I believe, a very British humor touch to this story as well, which I'm always a fan of. I love that in High Fidelity, so hoping to have something similar in this one. Obviously, I have a different note, but a different tone, but excited for that one. And another one I just picked up today is called The Saturday Night Ghost Club. This is by Craig Davidson. This, I'll be honest, the cover just kind of struck me right off the bat. I thought the cover was really, really cool. And it takes place in Niagara Falls, which is right where I live. So I'm interested in that. And it's about basically these young people that have a ghost club together, and they introduce some newcomers to the area to their ghost club, and then things get a little out of hand, I guess. I'm excited to check that out. Right up my alley. So that is, I think, all I have. The other thing I was going to mention is I'm working on the long list right now for the September book for the book club, and I think what I'm going to do is just a totally random list again. I kind of miss doing those. I've been doing themed months like 90s books or whatever, fantasy books. I think what I'm going to do for September is just totally random. It'll be horror, fantasy, memoir, Booker Prize books, just a little bit of everything. I kind of find those the most entertaining and the most fun to put together. So I'm going to be doing that for September. October is going to be the true horror month, and then November will be Stephen King month. So looking forward to that, obviously. And again, if you want to join the Patreon/book club, the link will be down below. No pressure whatsoever. And I think that's all I have. Look at me. Okay. Thank you, as always, for being here, guys, and I love you so very much. Bye.